Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has not really moved yesterday. It looked as if Bitcoin wanted to break out to the upside. Hasn't done it. The roadmap is still clear. It's unchanged. I've made a small change. I've made a very small change, and that just involves how this down here looks like. I shifted this wave 1 from here to here and then assume wave 2 unfolded as a running flat. It just works better with what's unfolding up there right now. But overall, not really any change. The idea is still that we could push a little higher in this third wave. So could get one more extension. We're going to take a look at that on the lower time frame wave count. Then here a larger fourth wave would unfold. I cannot rule out that this fourth wave is unfolding. If it is, then it is likely going to take a little longer, because take a look at the length of this wave too. Okay, so typically they are moving, in similar length. Okay, Bitcoin likes to do that. So that would take a while. That would take several weeks in this wave 4. Just be prepared for that. But I don't think we are already in this wave 4. Then we should get a wave 5 to the upside. That would form a wave 1. Ideally, I want this wave 1 not to exceed 43K. It could do, but then it would risk that, or it would increase the risk that this is just a high B wave that could lead to new lows again. And that would be the bearish scenario. So it might seem strange, but it really is the case that if this wave 1 goes too high, too far, too fast, it increases the risk of a breakdown. From an Elliott Wave point of view, we can define that by using Fibonacci levels. It just indicates a very overheated market and will then lead to a risk that this is breaking down. It's not needed, it's not an absolute guarantee, but it's just an increased risk if we rally straight away to that area between 43K and 50K. Ideally, we want to avoid that. Ideally, we want to finish that wave 1. We want to finish those 5 waves within the scope of 38,270 and $43,000. So within that range between the 61.8 Fibonacci extension and the 78.6 Fib extension of this wave 1 to the upside, which finished in April, measured against the wave 2 low that finished in September. So that's all unchanged basically, just a little bit shifting of the waves down there. Now let's take a look at the lower time frame wave count, and we shift to the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. Here you can see I changed one thing. I shifted the 1-2 here, and I took out its potential as a diagonal. The way I count it now is impulsive. However, it's a bit, it's not ideal, but it's I think better than what we had before. It looks very impulsive, that price action. So, and then in this movement to the upside, I would prefer still one more extension. As I've shifted the waves around a bit, this one too has moved, was here before. So because this has moved, I'm quite happy still with the length of this. Okay, so it's getting quite long, but it still is okay compared to the length of this one, of this wave 2. So that, however, meant I had to move support a little bit. Not the lower support, that stays. I just shifted the fibs a little bit. So that means just the fibs have changed a little bit. The 38.2 Fibonacci level is now 32,481. Any sustained break below that will make me assume we are in the larger degree fourth wave, okay? Until then, I assume that we are forming here some kind of a triangle, or even if we form a WXY structure or an ABC, it could still land in the upper, let's say the upper box, okay? But basically, if a correction plays out from here, and it goes down lower, then yeah, I would assume this is probably more a WXY than an ABC. So WXY, and then within the Y wave ABC. But that's just one of the few possibilities. There are always several possibilities, especially in corrections, that we need to be prepared for. We don't want to try to really figure out the most perfect count in a correction, because it gives you a false sense of, let's say, stability. I mean, in corrections, these counts morph and change. That's what they do all the time. We're dealing here with a corrective structure, and there are more than 12 corrective patterns, I think, or more than 10 in Elliott Wave that could play out here. And, a triangle oftentimes morphs into a WXY. because we know that. I want to highlight it here. Yeah, could develop into all sorts of corrective stuff. But at the moment, it basically did what I communicated yesterday. In the white wave count, yeah, which is a triangle pattern, it actually formed a lower E wave. Could still go a little lower in this E wave here, as long as it doesn't break below the C wave low at 33,430. This is a valid count, and the wave 4 could be finished at any moment. But to confirm it, we need to see a break to the upside of the triangle. That would need to be a sustained break first above 34,870, which is the D wave high, followed by a more sustained break above the B wave high, which is actually the actual breakout point, because above that level the triangle is basically broken. But then to verify that, I need to see a swift move to the upside. Normally a break out of the triangle is very sharp, fast, yeah, and that's what we want to see really in this fifth wave here to the upside. At the moment, I would prefer to see one more high before we start this larger degree fourth wave. That's also my assumption for Ether. Target for this is still around 36 to 38K, so no change from that perspective. And yeah, ideally we see a rally this week. Okay, if not, I mean, it might reach that trend line. I mean, that would not be before, okay, Thursday maybe. So maybe we have to expect a few more days here of sideways action, we'll see. But the volatility is reducing, which typically happens before a more aggressive, quite a volatile and rapid move. So just be aware of that. And yeah, it's not boring out there. I mean, some altcoins are really moving, so you know, things are still interesting. It's just that Bitcoin is holding, which is okay. You know, we don't want it to go up too fast, but as long as it carries on at some point, that's good. And yeah, overall, that's all I can tell you about Bitcoin at the moment. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. The links are in the video description. There's additional content there every single day. Things about mindset, things about we don't talk about on YouTube. So you want to check that out. And yeah, if you're interested in updates about stocks and shares in the S&P 500, check out our S&P 500 and stocks service. You can also find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.